Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. I am, of course, Bing Show. Easy on the vodka. How is your Sunday going? Are you watching us live? How do you watch us? Do you listen? We'd love to hear from you. Contact at kevinpollakschatshow.com. That's how you reach us. I repeat, contact at kevinpollakschatshow.com. I've missed you horribly. I'm going to miss you even more. I'm off to New Orleans tonight. Yes, you heard me and or saw me. If, in fact, you're watching this. If you're getting this after the fact, I'm there. I'm already done with this. I'm lying in the gutter, having lost my money at the casino and my soul at the bar. Brian Doyle Murray, neighbor, was telling us about the oysters. You got to go down to Felix for the oysters, and there was one beer, Long Star? No.
I won't remember. I was too busy wrestling with
A Beta?
No, it started with an L, like a long.
No, I feel like a Beta is a local
just
beer.
Long neck is
It
a
is
reference
to that region.
Oh, to that region.
It's a Louisiana beer. You know, there's just the one casino, just the Harrah's.
I know, I've been.
That's it.
Yeah.
You'd think there'd be more.
Yeah.
Harrah's got that locked up tight down there.
I was kind of surprised there was one.
Yeah.
With all the shit that goes on in Nolans, I couldn't.
Aren't you
believe it.
doing a 7 and a 10 o'clock show at the Harrah's?
At the Harrah's?
Yes.
I am, and by that you mean the video poker machine.
Oh, I thought, no, AM.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm doing a motion picture. That's right, people. I run into someone every now and then, and they say, "You still doing movies?" Which is always a great feeling. It really is. So it's nice to have some product out there again. I do have a film coming out in the not too distant future called The Song that they've been after me to do some ADR work on, and good luck with that. The editing of the documentary goes well. Sammy, you made the first cut.
Oh.
I can't make promises on the second cut.
You know what? Making the first cut was really all I hoped for.
Yeah.
Anything after this is just gravy.
That's right. And Jamie's voice, I think, can be heard. Nope.
No, I hope not.
Sam?
Yes, sir.
So, in my absence, I may or may not be hosting. The show will be here every Sunday. We're going to take Memorial Day weekend off, but the next 3 Sundays in a row, the 4th, the 11th, the 18th.
Yep.
There might be some guest hosts.
That's what I hear.
I've asked you to be one.
I would love to.
But you're only available the 4th and the 18th.
It would seem.
All right.
Well, I'm available the 25th. You're just not doing a show.
But we're not doing a show. You know what? You want to come and do a show on the 20 thing?
On the 25th?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Kenny? No, Kenny's not. Paget Brewster will be the guest host June 1st.
That's what I hear.
If my schedule gets screwy, I may not be able to come back. So the 4th or the 18th may in fact be yours.
All right.
It's good to know that you're available.
You know I'm available.
For me and
I've only been poisoning you for 5 years.
Yeah, I'm just now starting to not feel good.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking your sweet ass time.
My pleasure.
With the low dose.
Yeah.
Jamal, you are off to maybe the most magical place.
I don't know. In my old age, I'm more partial to Disneyland.
I love the sound of that.
Yeah.
It broke you. You were raised from the womb.
Yes.
Your first trip
going to Disney World. It's very overwhelming, but Epcot is still my favorite theme park of all time. So, I still got to make the trek.
Yeah, you do. And that begins tomorrow.
Yes.
Excited as hell.
I am
You gonna load up
excited.
the family truckster?
Now, for those of you who know where we live and are listening or watching us and thinking, hey, good time to break into the house, J-Mac, the guard dog, still is in the guest house. And Edie knows the alarm code. That's our cat.
But
Uh-oh.
I'm just picturing J-Mac passed out drunk, like in the guest house, and like people
So
just
is
breaking
everyone
it.
within our earshot.
Yeah. Any would-be thief should know I've already stolen all the good stuff a long time ago.
Josh has already planned like 3 barbecues in my
3
absence.
barbecues and the grotto.
Yeah.
The whole time.
I took all the medicine, all the nice jewelry. It's all gone.
You tell somebody going out of town, normally they say, have a nice trip, and Josh said, is the pool heated? That was the most sincere bon voyage.
And then he made me go run through with him how to turn on the fire pit because he didn't quite remember.
Which, by the way, not that hard. You just put a match into everything. All right. We got some exciting guests coming up, so stay tuned for that. Watch us on the Twitter. That's at Kevin Pollak, at Sam Levine, at Jamie Fox. You have an underscore in yours?
It's JAIME_FOX.
Yeah. And then, Kenny, do you spend any time anymore on the Twitter?
No.
Well, last tweet was 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
He's big on the Instagram.
Our guest today is also a wonderful presence on the Twitter. And when I introduce him, I'll tell you his @name, because it is his name. Tricky spelling, like mine. Not the same as mine, just tricky like mine. But it allows for a very specific, stylized, first time ever game of Who Tweeted today. So look forward to that in just a few. One of the listeners and one of the chat room peeps said, hey, why don't you stylize your Who Tweeted?
No.
Guess? How did this come
That
about,
was my
Jenny?
idea. No, they were just, a lot of listeners are saying, why don't you ever change it up? So and then I came up with the idea of I'm going to try to theme it to each guest.
Okay. Are you
You
signed in
would-
over here, by the way?
Yes.
Because I don't see his. We like to get live questions for. There you are from the Twitter peeps. So that for our guest and bring them to the guest directly from you. So please send those. And let's introduce the son of a bitch, shall we? Because we've kept him waiting almost as long as Larry David, and we saw how that went. Can I be honest with you? It's kind of rude. Please welcome Dom Irrera. Remember when you just had your name and you were a world-renowned stand-up comedian? I say world-renowned because my first question, sir, other than thank you for coming. And
Well, thank you for having me. Boy, does this show need me.
Do you mean laughs?
Oh, just energy. My God, what are you people doing?
Well, we're auditioning for PBS.
Most of our viewers are listening on long car drives, so
Yeah.
we don't want to startle them.
Disneyland or Disney World? Disneyland?
I'm going to Disney World tomorrow,
But she prefers now Disneyland.
but I think I prefer Disneyland in my old age because it's a lot less walking.
Last time I was at Disney World, they gave me, I was doing a corporate date, they gave me one ticket. How sad would that be if I went with one ticket?
By yourself?
Here's that comedian. I'm sitting in the teacup. Rock and roll.
I go by myself quite a bit.
Really?
I do.
Yeah, it's not as sad for a woman. Like some guy.
Also someone who lives for the park and can get around faster than anybody else. It's a whole different thing than Dom Irrera sitting in a teacup.
Yeah.
And I will say that I've never gone to the park and not run into somebody I know.
That's true.
So then I always end up.
Wait a minute. I mean, we all know Mickey, but
Yeah.
No,
Him, but
I
that's
mean
like-
real life people. As in the last time I went by myself, I ran into Samantha, our makeup artist. I hung out with her and her sister and her mom.
Samantha, Angela.
I ran into Angela once.
Yeah, sure.
And then
Mr. Toad when he was nothing.
I love Mr. Toad.
Before he was an Esquire?
Yes.
Please tell me about, you're off to Australia tomorrow. Tell me about this festival you're headed to.
I'm doing some theaters. I was telling you, me and Bob Saget are working together. I saw it in the, somebody's reading it to me off the tweet thing.
Because you refuse to read.
I refused. I can't read long.
No.
I get very nappish.
Sure.
I can watch, but I can't read.
All right.
Dance is my life, Kevin. That's the one thing I want to explain to you during this podcast. I live through my legs and feet. I express myself.
Sure.
I don't need this stand-up bullshit.
Is it like more of a Twyla Tharp, or is it a Bob?
It's Twilight Tharpish.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to Australia, and people are telling me, oh man, I don't know how you can make that flight. That's a long flight. Like, I don't know it's a long flight. 7,500 miles. How do you make it? You drink in first class. I haven't drank for a week, so I could drink on the plane.
Is that right?
It's a better buzz. It's a better buzz when you don't drink.
When you stay off for a week?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And what will be your order first? Start with a Bloody Mary?
Have vodka,
Sure.
and then wine, and then port, and then Courvoisier. And then Xanax, and then blood pressure medication, and then a paramedic.
Uh-huh.
And then they'll pull the plane over in Fiji, let my body off.
I love the idea that the plane is being pulled over.
Pull it over.
Yeah.
Jolly.
Yeah, where's the hurry? Where are you racing?
Do you still do movies?
Turns out I'm still employable.
What's the movie?
It has the worst title, and in the first conversation I'm going to have with the writer-director from Mexico City, first time, and he wrote this incredibly funny script with one of the worst titles ever, and my first conversation with him tomorrow will be to convince him to change the title.
What do you play?
Man. It's called Mind Puppets.
I love the title. My Now that makes me want to see it.
It has this great comedic premise where one of these hypnotists acts, right? So he's on stage, it's in a park, and he brings 5 people up in the audience, and he puts them under, makes them do those stupid things. And he says, okay, when I snap my fingers, all 5 of you are going to come out of it.
Are you the
I
hypnotist?
count to 3. No, I'm one of the guys who's been acting up on stage. You know.
Okay.
And you want to check Dom's mic? Is it rubbing into his neck? Go ahead and move it to the center of his shirt.
Move it to the center square.
Yeah, just go ahead and clip it onto the center of your shirt. What the hell? Why not?
Blessing in your head, muzzle tough, muzzle tough.
We don't have the rights.
Oh, I see.
I don't know.
Just a little thing we like to call unplugged.
Oh, is that it?
Can you
should
put it
be
in the
good
center
now.
of his shirt?
You should be good now.
How's that sound?
Oh, that's probably good.
Is that better?
Give us a
Is
thumbs.
this on?
Is this thing? Can
on?
you hear me?
Hello?
Because I can't believe I don't get to hear the end of this story about mind puppets. Sounds good. All right. So he puts everybody under. When I count to 3, you'll all come out and you remember nothing. You know that old gag. 1, 2, and then he has a heart attack. So he never brings them out of it. And then they walk around and try to function in the thing that he put them into. And in my case, the end is near. The end is nigh, and I'm trying to save people from the end of the world.
Wow.
But it's really funny, funnier than perhaps my pitch.
Well, it's hard to make a pitch funny.
It really is. But I'm thinking when I count to 3. Better title already. When I count to 3.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
Mind
much better.
puppets. What are we going with this?
Mind puppets sounds like a
Right?
hand job or something. It does.
So follow the story. I dare you. Is anybody yelling in the chat room about the?
They fixed the audio.
Oh, okay.
But if I may.
Sure. Why was it not plugged in?
No. I just received a text
Okay.
from Sweet Harris Levine.
Oh, we love it.
This is my father.
Papa.
My family watches the show live as it airs every Sunday.
Big fan of Dom's?
A huge fan of Dom's. And he reminded me, and I'm going to quote here,
Please.
remember we met him at that pool room on Route 4.
Really?
Referring to you, Dom.
Any idea what year that would have been?
Lodi?
No, that would have been Paramus.
Look, I don't want to get into an argument with you.
But I...
You know geography.
Let's not fight like
I'm just
this.
saying, I don't remember the name. I remember the billiard hall. It was something billiards, Route 4 billiards,
They're
or
usually called something billiard.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing a show. He just happened
no,
to be
we're just
shooting
hanging
pool.
out.
On
My father
Saturday
and I used to go
afternoon,
shoot pool at the place occasionally.
You're probably working at Bananas or.
Probably.
And
with
that's-
Harlan Jameson, who's so fucking crazy. If he misses a shot, he goes like this. You can't do that. I said, Harlan, it's a public place.
With the pool
He's like
cue?
hitting the cue on the thing. He's nuts.
By the thing, you mean the table.
Yeah.
Couldn't get all the way to the table. I just
felt
stopped short
saying-
of the thing.
I just abbreviated it.
I love that.
You've been riding me the whole show, Kevin. I don't know what the problem is, man. I come in with good faith.
If you had to,
We had a lot of bad blood, I know.
well, we're going to get
It
to
was
that.
my Alan Arkin first.
We're going to get to that. If you had to guess, because I have the correct answer here, what year was it that the words, the thing, you could replace anything with?
The thing?
By just saying, I'll see you at the thing.
1952.
Very close. You want to weigh in with a guess?
78.
Sammy? 78. Very bad. Much better. Well, you could say the thing. You know that
Yeah.
thing?
You know the thing.
I'll say we're going to go to the thing.
Yeah, I would say like.
Into the vernacular.
With the guy? You
I
go
would,
with
I
the
would
other guy or
say
that guy?
74.
Jamie, little guess?
65.
65. Kenny, last chance. Couldn't even fathom is the correct answer.
I'm not crazy about your attitude, by the way.
By the way, couldn't even fathom is the correct answer. Yeah, I don't have it here.
You know?
No, of course not. Just curious. And now I know everyone's got a different idea.
You know the guy-
But it did weasel its way into the vernacular at some point, where you could just, instead of having to
Thing?
finish the sentence, you could just fill it in with
It's
the
not
thing.
bad. I mean, the thing.
Oh, it's terrific.
What I hate is that's the way I roll.
Oh, boy.
I'm so glad that's gone.
Yeah.
I hate that's the way I roll, and it is what it is.
Oh, how
It
about
is what it is. Fucking aggravates me.
Whenever-
It's not going to be anything than what it is.
no. How about, long story short, up too late.
Yeah, right.
Now, where did That's How I Roll start?
Please tell us.
I'm asking.
Entourage.
No?
Totally kidding.
The first time I remember specifically hearing it was in the movie Anchorman.
Really?
Yeah. Jack Black says it. 2004. Can anyone give me an instance of someone saying
10
it
years,
before
that's
that?
about
I
right.
feel like they used it in Swingers.
Yeah, 10 years would be really the beginning of it, because it's 3 years ago it was really hip to the vernacular.
Noxious.
I hate it.
About 3 years ago.
I feel like
Weigh in, viewers.
Yeah.
Let
You
us
feel
know.
like you remember from
At
Swingers.
the end of the day, I fucking hate it too.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
Oh. Oy vey. Blessing on your head, muzzle tough, muzzle tough.
When is a game changer? That's a game changer going to stop. When are we going to stop at that? Well, it's a game changer.
We play one game at a time.
There you
No
go.
shit.
All right, sir. Well, tell me again, now that we've got you on the plane through the booze and the pills and waking up in Fiji without one kidney, you're going to do some festival dates?
I'm doing Sydney.
Just a fellow named Sidney. You go to his
Sydney.
house.
I'm doing Sydney. I'm going to take him. I'm going to give him a nice bath, spread it, put his legs up in the air, and do him. So sad when you laugh at your own stuff. If I could only express it in words, it would be so much funnier to everybody else.
Right.
I'm doing Sydney and Perth, and I don't know exactly which theaters I'm doing, but I had a great thing last September, not this past September, one before. I was working for Just for Laughs in Sydney. I was at the Sydney Opera House, right? How fucking cool, Sydney Opera House.
Amazing.
The next Saturday, I was at Mr. Magooby's joke hut.
In Baltimore.
In Towson, Maryland, yeah. Not even Baltimore.
No.
Didn't even make it to Baltimore.
Outside of Baltimore. Mr. Magooby's.
Mr. Magooby.
I went there too once and I said, I'll give you half my money back to change the fucking title today.
I know, I see the guy.
Because I just don't want to tell anyone that I'm playing a
No.
place called Mr. Magooby's.
You know, it's called the Comedy Club in Rochester, New York. It's good the Comedy Club. That's
Right,
it. No Sir Laugh-A-Lots, none of that crap, you know.
I can, yeah. The comedy works, great,
Yeah.
fantastic.
The Sydney Opera House was cool.
Well, sure, because they took out the word Magooby.
Anything that takes out the word Magooby. I mean, that's one of the symbols of, like, Western culture.
The visual.
Yeah, the visual.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to be in. And then you see, like, all the opera people hanging out. Hey, how you doing? They're just like,
The
you know,
union guys that work the...
well, even the guys in the opera, they're all dressed in kind of colonial-like garb.
Sure.
And they're just talking regular. No worries, mate. You know, like...
Because the first accent you did seemed more Long Island, but they're actually from Australia.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for critiquing my acting. Movie man.
I just wanted to clarify that they too don't have New York union workers
Thank you.
stagehands.
I appreciate that.
That someone at the poker game forced us to look up, make 300 on average at certain theaters, high end, $300,000 a year. New York theater stagehands because of the union's gouging.
That's how much they make?
Is what I'm saying.
Wow.
Exactly. How do I get that gig?
Well, you make more than that.
Sure, in my
How
sleep.
much you make on a movie? Mind if I ask?
On average, I was on a phone.
What's the most you ever made a movie?
Seriously?
the
answer to
this.
You don't know the answer to this? I bet.
It wasn't it Joanna Man?
I bet it would be no. I bet it would be less than you would think.
It better have been Joanna Man.
I thought that's the one that you made or maybe that was the most you've made at that time or something.
Yeah, no, it's sequel money. That's where you make the money. Is on the sequel. So
You know what
the
I-
Grumpy Old Men sequel was the bigger number.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what I loved you in, and not to be semi-maudlin, was Bruce's second movie about the 100-yard dash or whatever it was called.
Nice.
What's it called?
Sure.
The whole 10 yards.
No,
The whole 10
it was
yards.
the 100-yard dash.
Kevin, maybe...
When I played the old guy?
I was fucking...
With the giant glasses?
Yeah, I was crying laughing.
First of all, it's not maudlin. I can't love you enough because the truth of the matter is 9 people saw the film. You're one of 9.
Nice time.
Yep.
There's 2 more. There's 6 left.
Julia Fox.
And it is my favorite comedic thing
Oh.
on film that I have ever done, and no one saw
I
it.
thought it was brilliant.
I was in 3.5 hours of prosthetic makeup every morning. That was
I
fun.
could imagine, yeah.
An hour and a half to get it
The
out.
accent, it was so bizarre.
Laszlo Gogolak, well, you know. So much fun. Oh my God, so much fun. And, oh God, just broke my heart. But you know Bruce from way back. I remember one of your stand-up specials,
Sure.
your HBO special. I think he woke up in bed with you.
He was in bed with me, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what happened? It was just a kind of a way to get into the show.
Right.
And I'm in bed, and Louis Anderson comes in a dress, which he's most comfortable in.
Oddly.
And he's dressed as a maid, and he goes, "Mr. Irrera." I go, "What are you doing in my room?" He goes, "Don't you got to do your HBO special?" Like, he walked into somebody's room. He goes, "Look at you, how you've changed. You got one special. You think you're a big deal. What are you going to do with all that money?" And then he walks out, and Bruce is under the covers. He goes, and he was shooting Die Hard at the time. Nice enough to come right from Die Hard to get in bed with me.
Sure.
And he goes, "Dominic, can you lend me $220
I said, Bruce, what are you doing in my bed? Well, my daughter, Donna, I need the money for the kid. And I go, is that Louis Anderson's address? And he goes, yeah, he looked good, didn't he? I go, yeah. But anyway, so we have this banter back and forth.
Right.
And he goes, and I wrote it because of what people were starting to say about Bruce. And Bruce was always cocky.
Yeah.
I love him, but I mean, he was the same as a bartender when he was a movie star.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I go, you see? And he goes, you see how you are? You get a little money, a little fame, you get cocky. Right?
Yeah.
And then Chucky Weiss. You know who Chucky Weiss
Sure.
is? He's in the bathroom.
Chucky's in love.
Yeah, that was Ricky Lee Jones.
Who sang about him?
And Chucky's doing, what am I going to do with all this money? What am I going to do? Remember that song?
Yeah.
And then I just did a couple lines. But that was, I got all those guys in that one scene. It was so cool.
Yeah, no, I remember it.
I wish the special was better.
Sure. Well, you had a tough thing to follow.
I won an ACE award for that special.
Yes, you did.
And I was in the bathroom with Gary Shandling.
Doing
Nothing, talking, and I won. And the one time,
there.
my one moment in life, and I run up on the stage like Jerry Lewis, and I go, "Thank you, nice man." And Dick Clark's up there.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah, you were nominated for 6 different Cable Ace Awards.
No, that was for the Comedian of the Year.
Oh, that's right.
Which is very funny because I swear to God, Kevin, all my heart, I never wanted to win it unless it was going to be the last time, because if you win it, you can't win it again, and you don't get the perks. So your family, the limo, the dinners.
You just want to get nominated.
Nominated, and like to win it, you had to run for it.
Oh, really?
You know, like Carrot Top, and I like Carrot Top, but it's nothing against him, but his manager owned the comedy zones all over the South. And you would like have to call an 800 number, and then you get like free tickets to Carrot Top, right? And we knew Carrot Top was going to win. We knew whoever won. David Tell, Louis Black, and I were nominated one year. They only nominated 3 guys. And Dave and I knew Louis was going to win because he had the Comedy Central thing, and he was doing Stern, and so Dave he had me fucking laughing. He goes, I know I got this thing in the bag. I fired my agent. I bought a home in Malibu, But that was 6 times. And when we had the earthquake a couple months ago, the only things that fell in my house were my awards.
Your Cable Ace Award?
Yeah. No, they weren't even Cable Ace Awards. They were just, they were ABC, and then they went to Comedy Central.
Oh, right.
Cable Ace was, they just merged now into regular Emmys, right?
Well, in the sense that they no longer exist. Yeah, there was less merging and more. They
don't give, like for the comedy?
Cable, no. There's no separate cable award.
Yeah, but they can win Emmys.
You could, all cable shows are eligible for Emmys, that's what I meant to say.
Well, why do you got to diminish the one thing I've accomplished in life? I knew this was going to happen. I promised myself I wasn't going to cry.
Oh, no. You have to cry.
No, but isn't it better this way? Now no one can win the award anymore, so it's not like you got to go, no one's going to look at it and go, they used to give this thing to guys like Dom Irrera. Now they give it to these punks off the internet.
There you go. See what he did?
These awards used to mean something. Now it's set in stone.
You stay out of it. I've had it with you.
He's giving you respect.
You're right, thank you.
Trying to help the case.
Help the young bastard.
I want to know about the Kilkenny, Ireland festival and why they would screw a good thing up with that ridiculous name they've given it.
Cat Laughs? Mm-hmm. Cat Laughs has to do with, it was called the City of Cats at one time. There was like all this folklore about witches and cats.
So they got rid of the snakes. They drove out the snakes.
That was St. Patrick. That's a whole.
But the cats they kept.
The cats they kept, and it was half British and half Irish at one time.
Okay.
The town. It was a medieval town, and I really explained this well, huh? Anyway, I go there every year. They call me the Godfather of Kilkenny. Dom Irrera, you cracked me up, lad. It's like so much fun.
Well, let me ask you, because I'm very envious and very curious about doing festivals of stand-up in other countries when it comes to a specific style of stand-up. One would think that your act is extremely American, if not extremely East Coast, in the sense that you are, the embodiment of a certain attitude that comes from the East
What are you
Coast.
trying to say? Hey, forget about it.
No, you know what I'm saying.
I cut down a lot of Italian stuff.
I don't mean Italian. I mean,
I know what you mean.
This great, wonderful attitude that you have on stage did not come from Idaho, and it did not come from California, nor did it come from Ireland. So when you go there, like the first time, was there any trepidation?
And I thought there would be, because this was before the Euro. They had like a currency called the pounds.
Sure.
Right? And everybody had the lira, everybody had the francs. It was all different.
Pounds, sure.
And I didn't. The advantage we have, Kevin, is the fact that they know our media. They see me on Seinfeld. They see our movies. They know The Sopranos.
Right.
I can't bring a Scottish comedian over here. I mean, first of all, they wouldn't understand his accent.
Right.
I understand it because I've been there so long.
Right.
But I didn't have to change one thing. Matter of fact, I would do better in Kilkenny on just plain material than I would in Columbia, South Carolina. And it's no knock against Columbia, but I actually changed my act to get laughs by acting like one of those guys that, like, I made up a hook. I can't hear you. Right? Just to prove to the manager that if I pandered to them, I would get laughs. And I'm going to get hate mail from hate
Columbia.
Tweets. Yeah, but I mean,
I'll go on record. Columbia can suck it.
In Kilkenny, you wouldn't have to change a thing.
No.
I mean, if
you mean they know who Christopher Walken is?
Well, you could update your act a little.
I've been telling them that for 10 years.
No, but definitely, it's really.
Still doing airplane bits.
No, he's not.
I can't believe how much funny stuff happened in one flight.
Is the drink card a shortcode?
Hey, that was a great joke.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how easy it is.
Right. Well,
they got great sense of humor. The Irish are really funny.
Oh yeah.
They're one of those cultures.
Yeah.
This is like me going to Ireland. The guy forgets he tells me the same joke. Eamon Langton. He owns the place where I stay. And he goes, Eamon, how you doing? I'll be better Tuesday. Why is that? That's when you leave. It's always that. Like,
every year, same joke.
Every year, same joke. But I laugh the same. And,
sure.
But it's fun.
Right. Did they clean the room while you're not there? So when you come back.
It's really cool. I was up on stage one night and I did a joke and no laugh. I go, did I do that joke already? They go, Dom, Jason did it. My friend Jason Byrne. I go, Jason did my joke, and he was sitting there, and they ratted him out. That's how much I'm so close to that culture,
right.
Close to those people, that they ratted out one of their own.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I brought him up on stage and busted his balls about it, but that's another story. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I saw you on stage performing in Las Vegas at the Wynn Hotel, one of these wonderful corporate gigs that we do on occasion that pay more and get less from. And I was sitting close enough so that we could make eye contact, and about 20 minutes into your act, you asked, how's Lucy doing? You still talk to her? So,
Side note for our audience at home, Lucy would be Kevin's ex-wife.
Yeah, who you knew before you knew me. But the question was, are you so comfortable on stage, or did you have utter disregard for the people who hired you, that you could incorporate me into 10 minutes of your act?
I don't have disregard for the people that hired me. I just... Let me tell you this. First of all, if I'm not good at stand-up now, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to kick in. It ain't going to tweak. I'm very comfortable. I could do stand-up.
You mean it is what it is?
That's the way I roll. I roll right. I roll this way. I roll. I couldn't be more comfortable. I mean, I'm more comfortable on stage than I am in real life.
Yeah.
I think my blood pressure goes down. I feel just in control there. I just feel like I could do stand-up in a hammock.
Yeah.
Somebody said I could never eat before I go, and I go, I could eat while I'm performing. And I'm not that I think I'm so wonderful. It's just that I do it so much.
Yeah.
Especially, I haven't had a relationship like when, you remember Sophie, little cute French girl?
Uh-huh.
Well, her and I broke up about 5 years ago, and I haven't had like a serious relationship. And I thought to myself, I can either try and get somebody, not try, or try and get my stand-up better. And I thought, fuck, I'm going to do it. I'm going to just keep, do it. I do it 5 nights a week.
Right.
And it really helps.
Yeah, of course.
Because you can just draw from so many different parts of it. It's like whenever I'm up there, because and I feel it. If I do 4 weeks of 50-minute sets, you really feel sharp.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like any sport. If you play it more,
you're
going to get better at it. And then when you've been doing it as long as we have, you were in your 20s?
Yeah. I started acting in college, though.
Right. Barry University.
We were saying...
and also, it seemed like it was St. Martin's. What was it? St. Bart's? What was the other university?
Well, I don't know. There wasn't another... I mean, I went to Biscayne College, and Barry was where I majored in drama, and that's when we were kidding about Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler on the Roof.
19-year-old rabbi in Fiddler on the Roof.
Italian Rabbi from Philly.
May God bless and keep us all far away from us. Forget about it. But it was so much fun, and that was where I was nervous, because everybody else was dependent on me. When it's just me, I don't worry.
Yeah.
But when I think about, I can't run. Like I can't. There was two times in my life I wanted to just run out, and one was the first Tonight Show I ever did, and the Fiddler on the Roof. And I thought, I can't do it. There's so many people, and I'm going to run. And like, I can't bail on these people.
Right.
But when I did the Tonight Show, I looked at the hills in Burbank. I thought, I'll start a new life. I'll run into the hills.
Be a coyote?
Baby Sasquatch. I'll be with a pack of coyotes. Over here, boys. But
I was raised by wolves when I was 31.
But that's what made me nervous.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that, because we haven't had too many guests on the show, quite frankly, who stood behind that curtain with Jim McCauley standing next to you.
Oh my God!
And right before he pulls it back, you know, there will never be anything like that, and not to sound as old as I am, but it's true. So they'll be better, they'll be different, but they'll never be that. And for younger comedians, backstage at Letterman or wherever, Jimmy Fallon, when the guy's standing there before he holds the curtain, that's their version of that, and it's just as important to them today as it might have been for us. We just had a different experience of growing up with the king of late night from our childhood up until the time when we could stand on that star. I can't imagine there are too many people today. Well, Jimmy's been on TV since SNL was what year? 96?
Yeah, I was in high school, so I think like 96, 97.
Is it Jimmy Kimmel?
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy
It's
Fallon.
a new Tonight Show host.
Yeah.
So there's probably some kid who was 12 when he saw Jimmy Fallon in 1996.
Yeah.
Who's now, 20.
Right.
18-year-old Jamie was convinced.
Sorry, who's now 30.
18-year-old Jamie was convinced she was going to marry Jimmy Fallon.
Yes,
Don't let us not forget.
I did Jimmy Fallon's show, and you're right. I mean, how can you get nervous when you're doing, like when he's excited to have you on the show? It's not like Johnny Carson was going, I can't believe I got you on this show.
When Carson would stop in the director and say, I've been asking for 6 years. What took you so long?
Well, that was eerie to hear, because I remember being at camp as a kid, summer camp, and having a little portable TV under my covers watching The Tonight Show, watching Carson. Then when I hear Ed McMahon and Carson laughing, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I thought Ed McMahon was going to punch me that day, because I didn't know that he...
You stole his beer?
No, I did a joke about him.
In your act?
Yeah, it was it was a rhythm joke more than... Do you remember it at all? Did you ever see it? It was basically, I said I did Star Search, and I met Ed McMahon, and what do I have 35 years in the business. Do I call him Ed? Do I call him Mr. Ed, Mr. Eddie McMahon, Mr. E, Mr. You big fat lucky talentless hump, kissing Johnny's ass for the last 30 years, you Budweiser sucking, outpost slinging nothing. What do you do? I don't mean that in a bad way. And I thought that...
Of course I remember this bit.
I thought he knew the joke, and he pulled me towards him. And I thought, fucking Ed McMahon's going to slide me right before I go on. And anyway, he says, have a great show. And his daughter told me he loved the joke. That's how good a sense of humor he had.
Yeah. Well, when you get limo for life worked into your contract after year 10.
Is that what he had?
It's difficult to be upset about anything, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Did it, often a situation like that just never meets whatever anxiety or anticipation you have or hopes or whatnot. But I'm sure it went great.
My wife was pleased with it, and she was a good critic of me, Lisa.
Right.
And my ex-wife was the mother of the ugly baby on Seinfeld.
Yes.
And good trivia. And I guess it was really more of a what do they call it, an imprimatur, like when you get a stamp of approval.
Right.
Because it wasn't fun. I can't say, oh, did I have a ball? Now I have fun because I'm so goofy and old enough to not give a fuck. But I mean...
Well, you wanted to run into the hills and be raised by wolves. We're coyotes. Right. We understand that it wasn't fun for
It wasn't
you.
fun. It was a headache. I never get headaches. It was a headache. And I was glad it was over. And the second one was easier. And then, a year later, I'm doing it as a guest with Gary Shandling, who was a guest host, who's so crazy. I love him, but he's like, I hate this fucking shit. I go, you're hosting the Tonight Show.
And a commercial break.
Yeah, the commercial break. He's like, you hate it. Everybody'd love to be in that seat.
Yeah.
But now it's so weird because what am I going to do if I go on Coen? Conan's mad at me, by the way. But speaking of Ireland, this is Mr. Hip, Mr. Harvard. You know, I did a joke about Irish women, which I wrote in Kilkenny, and they laughed in Kilkenny. I did it. He goes, I really don't appreciate that joke about Irish women, about the way some look. And I'm thinking, yeah, because you look like one of them. But anyway, I've never been on the show since. So.
What do you care?
I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what's more important?
Please.
Stuff like this. Seriously, podcasts are much more important than any of the late night shows.
You mean in terms of getting the word out, letting people
Yeah, because the people that watch these are the real comedy people.
The real comedy fans now. Yeah, I mean, I'm listening to comedy Bing Bong, as we like to call it, on the Earwolf, Scott Aukerman show. And there's certain podcasts they become a regular part of your life now, and absolutely.
Well, you were on my show, Dom Irrera Live from the Laugh Factory. I appreciate you coming in, but I feel dwarfed compared to your show with a crew and pizza and a makeup girl and a girlfriend.
Crew and pizza.
Crew.
I like that order.
Do with anything.
Fourth grade math, you taught at Most Blessed Sacrament.
I only taught the dumb kids in math. I taught the regular kids and everything.
Because when they got to geometry, you were done?
Well, no, I was so stupid. I was like, when I got to fractions, I was done. Decimals and fractions put me out.
Forget it.
Algebra, don't even.
Please.
Never did I need it. Never did I need there was never once in my life where I thought, if I only knew the Pythagorean theorem, I could get out of this mess.
Well, the Star Trek convention, it might help. You were how old when you taught the, as you say, dumb kids in math?
Right out of college, 21.
Really, right out of college?
Yeah.
So you weren't...
I was in a children's theater group in college, which was really lucky.
You and kids?
We got paid, no, me and... we played like all these goofy... That's what's so funny about, the Italian persona.
Right.
I got my equity card doing children's theater. I was Billy Bones in Treasure Island. I was the White Rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, singing. And I couldn't dance, but I was physical. I could do like tumbling and shit.
Sure.
But nobody would ever know that when they say, hey, forget about it,
Right.
I'm so much more.
Yeah, that you have this whole theater background.
Yeah.
Did you like teaching the kids? Because there was a thing in here that said what would happen on Friday afternoons if the kids were good?
Party.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing, my speech at the beginning of the year was, I want to make this the happiest year of your lives. I want you to look back on this year and go, man, fourth grade was fun. I said, there's nobody in here that wants to go to the gym more than me. There's nobody here that wants to have fun more. I said, so it's up to you. I got to teach you some of this stuff. I hate it. I hate math. I hate diagramming sentences. I said, what do you think? I'm not like you, but we got to do it because otherwise I'll get fired.
Right.
Because I got to teach you something.
And be good during the week, and on Friday we'll listen to Beatles?
Yeah. But listen to the Beatles, and they were, and I exposed a lot of kids, especially the black kids.
Please finish that sentence.
What?
I exposed a lot of kids.
I exposed a lot of kids to music.
Sure. There we go.
To music that they, Mr. Irrera, play Benny and the Jets. They love that.
Nice.
These black kids never heard the Beatles and never heard Elton John or Bowie, any of that, and some of the white kids didn't know the soul music. So.
Where was it? South Philly? Where was it?
No, it was West Philly.
Sure.
It was it was kind of a tough neighborhood, and I didn't realize how tough it was. Sometimes I would write plays for the kids, and they were great, And I remember driving this one girl home, and she just sprinted out of the car. And I said, Karen Jackson was her name.
Were you in fact driving her home, or had you taken her against her will?
I was letting her go.
Driving her home. I was driving this one girl, and she sprinted from the car.
Hey, come here, you little rat! Don't you keep your mouth shut? God doesn't love you. Jesus hates you. No, I was taking her home. I was taking her home, and she ran so. And I said, "Why did you run so fast?" And I'm not going to get out of this one. Why did you run so fast? Because you were holding me. Because
you're about to expose me to math and the Beatles.
Here, look at the Beatles naked. I filled in their bottom. No, but I was anyway. Junkies would wait on the corner and take their money and stuff. The kids.
Oh.
Way to lift up the podcast. And then
wait a second. She bolted from the car to score?
She bolted from the car to
not get mugged.
Not get mugged.
Oh, The junkies would take the kids' money.
God, you're so insensitive. You do movies mostly, right?
I don't really understand
do
how
any
life
impressions?
works. It must be damn near time for our sponsor. What a great time to follow the pedophilia hunk.
You made it into a pedophilia hunk.
That's true. It's true. You wanted nothing to do with that. I do want to hear, by the way, I read an interview from our dossier that J-Mac, who's absent today, prepared for me. You were asked about a private show in Atlantic City that you did on New Year's Eve back in 2007.
Yeah.
And so it seemed like you didn't want to talk about it because the private party, might have been a little mobbed up. Whether it was or not is none of my business. I assume at some point you've worked for a club or theater or engagement that was indeed mobbed up. Because we didn't have that on the West Coast.
Well, I'll tell you, one time I was on the Tonight Show.
We already talked about it.
No, but this goes back to the mob.
Totally.
And it had nothing to do with the mob.
Right.
What happened was, there was this guy in a comedy club in Atlantic City. I had like a date with him. I was doing it, and on Thursday or Friday, I got a call from my agent, and there was a gig in Atlantic City the next week. It was 10 grand, which was a lot of money, and it's a lot of money in those days, especially. And it was me and Ellen, and Marty Polio and Rick Dukeman, right? And I remember Ellen because she didn't want to go on first or last.
You mean DeGeneres?
Yeah.
Just for the record. Could have been Cleghorn.
She didn't want to follow a mime. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to go on.
She didn't want to follow a mime?
Yeah, because Marty Polo used to do that mime shit. Okay. It's amazing. That wall's like a cave. But anyway, so this guy throws a restraining order on me. Long story short, because I wasn't allowed to headline a casino like I'm headlining. We were filling in because it was dark for 10 days and we were getting great money. Anyway, he put a restraining order, so a friend of mine, a lawyer, got me out of it, but I had to plug him twice on the Tonight Show. So I told Macaulay that, I have to plug this guy. He says, well, why?
The name of his venue. You had to plug the name of his venue.
Yeah,
or the actual person.
The gig. No, I didn't plug the person, I exposed him.
Yeah.
I exposed him to Billy Joel. Billy thought he was adorable. And that's the song Piano Man. When McCartney wrote Hey Jude, he was talking about one of the kids in my class. Anyway.
Restraining order, you got to tell Macaulay, I got to plug this gig.
So then Macaulay goes to Carson and tells him he thinks it's a mob thing. Oh. Because this Italian comedian has to plug. So they come into the dressing room, Macaulay, Carson and McMahon, and they're laughing. They're going, so why do you have to plug of all the gigs, why do you have to plug this place in Atlantic City? I go, I can't talk about it. Oh, that makes it even funnier, right? And it's just a legal thing, and there's no mob involved, but they thought it was.
Right. Now, first of all, Carson never came into the dressing room. So the fact that he and McMahon both came into the dressing room to have this laugh or conversation in itself is historical. I mean, I did the show a couple dozen times. He only came in to the makeup room because I happened to be lucky enough to be on the show.
Now, what did you do on it?
Finger painting mostly. But he stopped in the makeup room because I was on it during the last 6 months when he was doing his farewell tour.
Yeah.
And he just stopped in the makeup room and said, "Hey, good to see you. Thanks for coming by." He did a little Peter Falk for me.
That's what I was wondering.
But that's it.
Did he do Peter Falk?
Well, yeah, because it was an inside.
Was he any good?
Yeah, he did characters all the time on the show. Art Fern and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So Carson and McMahon came into your room to laugh at the idea that, not to say you can't do this.
No.
But to just kind of make fun of it.
They plugged it. They plugged the club, but they just thought it was hilarious. They thought I was connected.
Holy fuck! Yeah. So they were actually probably titillated and.
They got it. Yeah, they thought it was cool.
Well, it is cool. It's a great fucking story. Speaking of which.
Are we still on?
Let's give a little thanks to our sponsor, if we may.
Who's your sponsor, Ken?
I'm going to tell you. Proflowers.com.
Can I say something? And I'm not pandering.
Sure, please.
I think Proflowers.com is seriously one of the best. If you're going to get flowers, you got to get it from them. Because they give you a great deal.
Right.
It's like not a complete $10. It's $9.99.
Right.
Which it adds up. Believe me. Over the years.
You see that tray at the store with the pennies in it? You think they're going broke? Why should the competition stop now? Show your love. with 1 dozen rainbow roses with a free glass vase from proflowers.com for just $19.99. Go bigger, double the colorful roses plus a free glass vase and chocolates for just $9.99 more. There's a promo code you can use. It's my code. They're calling it my code because it's chat, C-H-A-T, chat. So you don't chat sent you. Get this special Mother's Day deal. Order now while supplies last. I will order flowers for my mom this year, as I have in the past several years. I will use proflowers.com. Why? Because I want to use that chat promo code. I'm pretty excited about it. But you've been telling us you want to support this show. Here's your opportunity. If you order for flowers for your mom like I do because she lives in a different part of the country, or maybe even down the street and you don't want to see the broad, please use proflowers.com and support this show, damn it.
What size panties did your mom wear?
Extra large. Let's go to the guarantee.
Jumbo.
Pro Flowers will not send your mother new panties, though.
No?
No, just
Okay.
flowers.
Roll back just a little bit, Kenny, because I started to get a run at something, and then we got Pro Flowers are guaranteed to last a full week or your money back. That is kind of a big deal. If you have a cat like we do who doesn't let the flowers last more than a minute, this will really come in handy. Freshly picked bouquets, perfect for Mother's Day. Ordering is easy. Pick your delivery date, and it's guaranteed. Here's the only way to get the amazing Mother's Day deal. Go to proflowers.com, click on the blue microphone in the top right-hand corner, and type in the word chat. That's proflowers.com. Click the blue microphone and type in chat. The deal expires Friday at midnight. Stop messing around, people. Make sure you order today and support this show. That's proflowers.com, and I thank them for their support. Well, you won't get your mom flowers this year, right, Dom? Because she's no longer with us?
She's no longer with us.
Why'd you kill her?
I killed her because she stunk. My mother had an odor to her.
Well, if you had to describe this,
Can I ask you something?
Please.
Is there any chance you could read that again with a little more talent? For want of a better word.
Let's see. Why should the competition stop now?
I like it. I like where you're going. You see what I'm saying?
You've also done something that I'm extremely jealous of, and that is
He has a movie career. He's jealous of me.
Yes.
I'm a fucking mook without a hook.
Oh, you got a hook. You're still a mook. Working with the Coen bro. I don't even know what a mook is, to be honest with you. Is there a specific definition?
Mook is like this.
Yeah.
Schmuck?
Or schnook.
Schnook? Why don't we ask the other Italian?
A mook would be like, hey, how you doing? All right, how you doing? Like,
So he's a sad guy.
kind of, like hanging there, like a jadrul. A mook's like a jadrul.
A Schmendrick is like a putz. I got you.
Exactly.
I got you.
Now you know. Now
You
we're
work with the
talking.
Coen brothers. Let's get to the top of the
Yeah.
story.
Whatever happened to those guys? I tried. I carried that movie on my back.
Yeah. Is it true one of them is silent, doesn't want to talk? No, what was the experience like for you? Because we've had people on before, a couple of people that have worked with him. And
It was great.
Yeah.
What happened was I got a script, the Big Lebowski,
Right.
and they had the sides outlined. The sides are, whoever doesn't know what sides are, just the
Couple pages.
part you're going to read or audition for, whatever. And my agent called me. She goes, "What do you think?" I said, "I think it's brilliant. I'm telling you, it's genius. I never read anything so funny." She goes, "Oh, you never get this excited." I said, "Yeah, well, I wrote it." She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, verbatim, my joke's in the script. My joke." And she goes, "Really?" She goes, "Well, they want you to audition." I go, "I'm not audition. I can't." I said, "Suppose I don't get my words. What am I going to do? Sue the Coen brothers?" So they called, the casting director didn't know, and they called the Coen brothers up, and they said, "No, we wrote the part for him." So
They purposely use your act.
yeah, and that was like a joke about my Uncle Joe they did with me and Jeff Bridges.
Right.
Jeff Bridges, like I said that so much. Jeff Bridges and I.
There you go.
And that's how I got in the movie. They saw me at Caroline's. And you know what's funny about it? Ethan Coen, Joel was the director. Ethan did the sound. He was in the trunk of the car. I drove this limo.
Sure.
And they said to me, but Ethan was like kind of nervous around me. And I could feel it. You know how you feel when people are like getting, I'm thinking, you're one of the Coen brothers.
For fuck's sake.
Lighten up.
I believe you have at least one Academy Award at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had Fargo and stuff like that under their belt already.
Yeah.
But anyway, they asked me, they said, "You want to drive?" I go, "I can fucking drive." I said, "What are you kidding? 5 miles an hour?"
Instead of getting it up on a trailer hitch, what they normally do. Yeah.
Exactly. Or get a stunt driver for some of the actual driving, and then I would do the lines, whatever. So I said, what, big deal. So I got Joel in the back on the floor. Jeff Bridges is behind me in the seat. That's who I'm talking to. And Ethan's in the trunk doing the sound. Right?
They couldn't afford a crew? I don't understand.
They had a crew, but I guess they wanted to do it, I mean, I guess he wanted to do it.
Ethan Coen in the trunk.
In the trunk. And I said, I don't know if I want the both Coen brothers in the limo. I said, because if something happens, if I kill one of you, it's a story. If I kill two of you, I'm dead in Hollywood. Right? Anyway, so we're going around, and I don't know what you call those things for the lighting on the side of the car.
Stoplight?
No, like they put it on the car, to make the sun all the same level, whatever, and they take them off. So then I think, well, I can drive closer, and they don't tell me they put them back on.
Uh-oh.
I hit a fucking telephone pole, boom, everybody goes flying. Me thinking, what could I possibly go wrong? Luckily, nobody got hurt.
You only killed the one Coen brother.
Oh, yeah, in the trunk.
Which is why it's a good story.
Which is why it's a happy ending.
Well, they used to be triplets.
Yeah.
But it was cool working with them.
And Jeff Bridges?
Oh, he's great. He's such a great actor.
And a bit of a goofball, almost like a surfer kid.
Well, he didn't get out of character.
No, I mean, even when he's not.
Is he like that? Because I didn't know.
He was like raised at the beach, is the sense you get.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Lloyd Bridges was his father, Sea Hunt.
See? And they went to Venice
Not that
High,
I remember that.
as Bo once told me.
They went to what?
Venice High School.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Right there in the Venice, California, not far from where we are this very moment.
Yeah.
He never broke character, you're saying, Jeff Bridges?
No. At lunch, he just stayed in the dude character.
And did you find that, what?
Natural. He's so good that it didn't even faze me. Because I didn't even know him anyway.
Right.
So that was the Jeff Bridges I knew, was the dude.
Mm-hmm. And did he try to eat off your plate? I've heard that about him.
Oh, really?
Nope.
No, that was cool. I mean, God, I think about that when I was driving over here, or when I was getting driven by your slave, by your punk.
You mean by the greatest intern that ever walked the face of the earth?
What a great kid.
David Mandel.
He looks like, I thought he looked like Tosh a little.
Tosh?
A little bit.
He reminded me of Tosh. He had that big geeky Tosh. Uncomfortable with his body. He's a good kisser, though.
You know he's your ride back home as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I like about it? When he kisses, it's not like a sissy. It's like a man.
Gay?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Not gay, manly.
Uh-huh.
You like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd rather be kissed like a man.
Proflowers.com.
Either way.
If you're interested in sending me anything. A week? You mean I could, the seventh day I could go, these flowers are wilting. I want my money back.
Yeah. They guarantee for a week. That's exactly right. And you would do that. You would make that call.
I would never. If they wilted the first day, I would never take them back.
No.
It's a nice offer, though. Proflowers.com.
I want to hear the genesis of your sold-out run of your show you did at Montreal Comedy Festival just for laughs, called Plug, Unplugged, or Plugged Again.
I never taped it. It was a one-man show with like stand-up's not. And I put a couch on there because I thought that makes it a one-man show.
You put a couch on the stage?
Yeah.
You ever sit in it?
Yeah, but this will be the difference. This is the difference between my stand-up and this is that I have a couch and I had cue cards because it was much more about my life than just a set would be.
Right.
A set would be more contemporary stuff. Mm-hmm. And I went back and I did talk about like Fiddler and different things that impacted me. And I think my first joke I did, very first. Do you remember the first joke you wrote?
No. You?
Well, it was my first joke was, I said to this waitress, bartender, she was really hot, and I said, why don't you come and sleep with me? I guarantee any woman 3 screaming orgasms a night. I don't know what she does, but I scream like crazy. But a 4th time, my throat gets dry. That was my joke, right? And needless to say, she did not sleep with me. But she thought I was funny. But the very first joke I remember writing was I was working on all my children, and I was under 5 on all my children, and we got the giggles. Do you remember Erica, Susan Lucci?
Is this a joke or you really did work?
No, it was under 5. It was one of my first gigs, but we got the gig. I wrote this joke there, but I I was an under. You know what under 5 is? Under 5 lines.
Okay.
Like in those days was, you know, you get paid a lesser scale, but more than an extra.
Okay.
And my lines were body of. I was a priest handing out communion. Body of Christ, blood of Christ, body of Christ, and I kept making it more and more like Peter Lorre-ish kind of, body of Christ, blood of Christ, body of Christ, and we just got the giggles. But anyway, the joke was, my father left home when I was in 2nd grade, never cheated on my mother, used to cheat on me, pick up other kids after school, take them to the zoo, take them to play ball.
Right.
One day he came to me, I got in love with you, I met another kid, for the first time in my life I feel like a real father. Right. It was like not hilariously funny, but structured.
Yeah.
You know, so that
was your first joke, and the stories like that are what were part of the one-man show.
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully it was better than that, but...
I'm sure it was. But you had this sold-out run there, so you did a number of shows.
It was pretty cool because I was held over for a week, and I didn't even know it was, you know...
You were trying to get back in the States, and they wouldn't let you?
They wouldn't let me back in. They were so relieved that I was out of the States. Yeah, I'm going to go up there this year, actually, and do a host in the All-Star show. You know, I love to bust Slayton's balls. You know Bobby Slayton?
Please.
He's so jealous of any little, I love him, but he's so I always lie to him, like about money and stuff. How'd you get that? How'd you get that? He goes, how much they pay you? I said, well, Bob, first of all, they're going to pay me a lot more than they're going to pay you, so why are you even asking me? I said, you know, he said, what should I ask for? I said, well, you know, ask for like 10. He goes, is that what they pay you? I go, I don't want to talk. I don't want to make you feel bad. And of course I'm going to make him feel bad. How'd you get that? How'd you get that?
Yeah. He's a very dear friend of mine.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
When's the last time you talked to him?
Actually, not that long ago.
I saw him yesterday.
Did you?
How's that? How's that, tough guy? How's that, movie man? Would you ever do a series?
I don't see how that's your business. I'm trying to stay on one now, actually.
Are you?
Yeah. I started working on one halfway through its first year and did a couple episodes. It ended up being more, and now they've invited me back for next year. And
what is it?
You don't care.
I do care.
Very nice of you to ask.
But I mean, can't we have some kind of, does it have to be me answering questions? Can't you answer?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to do that for you. The show's called see, they're going to fall asleep. It's called Mom's, one of Chuck Lorre's shows. It's his 4th one on the CBS and the Warner Brothers, which he practically owns now. It's a Monday night show with Anna Faris and Allison Janney.
Oh, cool.
Playing mother and daughter. And I knocked up Allison Janney to give birth to Anna Faris, I guess 30-something years ago. And she just finds that out halfway through the first season. She never knew her father, and that's me. So
when did you? How long ago did you get this?
The end of December is when it started for me.
Okay, because I think you were just going into it when we did my podcast.
I think so too.
Yeah,
actually,
that's cool.
I might have yapped about it a little bit because it was just a maybe kind of reoccurring thing. But boy, I don't know how that world evaded me. You had a little bit of experience. Weren't you on the Wayans, Damon?
Yeah, I was on Damon's series.
Yeah,
13 and out.
But how great of a fucking job! Was it multiple camera in front of an audience?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I always thought for a comedian, especially one like yourself who actually did theater, this is the perfect job.
I like single camera better.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
I like performing in front of that live audience.
No, you know why? Because it distracts me.
All right.
Like and it's hitting the mark and everything. And like when Willis did Moonlighting.
Friends, or Moonlighting.
I thought it was such a great. It was kind of a new thing then. That one camera thing, and I thought it was so cool the way the cameras followed them around. And I don't like crowds. I mean, I like doing it stand up or the thing, but I don't like both. Mm-hmm. I mean, the first thing I did was Golden Girls. I was on a couple episodes of that, and I just like. Whoa.
Which one did you bang? You can tell us.
Rue McClanahan from behind.
And how was that?
I pulled Bea Arthur's hair as I was fucking her. Bea Arthur, Kev, I'm getting a bagel right in the morning, and I
knew part of the story.
I knew her as Maud.
Did you?
You know, I didn't know her, but that's who I recognized her from.
Right.
So I panicked on her name, and she's about a foot bigger than me with these big flappers. And
by big flappers, you mean feet?
Yeah.
Like a clown shoe. She was wearing clown shoes.
She was wearing clown shoes. It's the only thing that'll fit her. But I said like this. I see her sitting next to me, and I go, hi, Bo. because I forgot her name was Bea, and she goes, "It's Bea, darling." Like my hair blew back. The shit was getting. The counters were shaking. Darling.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You said Bo.
I called, "Hey, Bo, how's it hanging?"
And yeah, no, you appeared on a number of shows, but you were on the Damon show.
Yeah, I was a series regular.
But you didn't like the multiple camera in front of the audience.
No, and you know, Damon at the time was going through something, because after that, I did a bunch of My Wife and Kids with him, and he was so much more fun and loose, and he didn't appreciate the moment, you know, and he was like one time, and I don't mean to disparage Damon, nobody's been better to me than him, but just for the sake of a gossipy story, Seinfeld was next door to us.
On the CBS
stage,
Radford?
yeah. And I would go over there because Jason and those guys were all friends of mine, and Jason Alexander, for people who don't know celebrities. And one time Damon said to me, they took a line from me, and I was the only one that could really talk to him because we were old friends.
Right.
You know, he was like in this executive producer mode, and one time I actually called him out in front of everybody. He said something wise to me. I said, "Damon, you know what? Why don't we go in the Comedy Store tonight? We'll bring everybody in. We'll go back to back. We'll see how fucking funny you are." And he was funny, but I was just in a pissy mood.
Right.
You know. But anyway, he took a line from me, and he goes, "That's why they call the show Damon." And he goes, "You'll never get a line funnier than mine." I said, "That's why it's going down, baby. It's going down. It's a sinking ship." And I go over and I tell Jason Alexander this. He goes, "It's weird." He says, "Jerry does the opposite."
Yeah.
He said, "Jerry is so smart." He says, he'll have a line. I'll go, "Why don't you do it? You'll do it funnier than me."
Yeah.
You know, because it was already Seinfeld. How much more bigger do you got to get?
Yeah.
The name of the show is the Jackie Gleason Show, or whatever it was. You
Yeah.
know, all the great ones were like that.
Yeah,
you know?
and for a while, it seemed anyways, he was happy to sort of be more of a straight man and let the craziness happen around
Don't
him.
you love the fact that on a sitcom the lead could laugh and you see him laughing,
Right.
and you still believe the story,
Yeah.
because it's so well written.
Yeah. You appear on the show as well, but I think we've got to interrupt everything with a new and exciting version of Who Tweeted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna like this stuff.
Wait for the theme song.
We have no.
No, no.
We have no thing.
You don't need the thing.
We don't need the thing. Oh.
Sammy, take it away. Please
This
explain. I've not explained to our guest how this works as I normally do. It's a game. It's me against you. Sammy's the host. Here we go with the rules.
The name of the game is Who Tweeted. Now, I know you're big on the Twitters, so here's how it works. You are going to be playing against Kevin. I'm going to be reading one at a time a series of 8 tweets. All of these tweets were written by either Snooki, Sly Stallone, or Madonna.
I would have said Snooki last. I would have used her as the topper.
They're all watching the show right now?
Yeah, they are.
They're all. We have them in the green room right now. They're watching.
Normally,
What are you doing to your lips?
I like to moisten them. Normally, it's.
It doesn't matter who it is normally.
But we wanted you to know that we're doing a special one as an Italian American.
That's the theme.
The theme is Italian.
The theme is all
Stallone's
Italians.
Italian, and Snooki's
A
Italian?
little bit. She was raised by Italians. We found out.
She was on Jersey Shore.
Yeah, but we found out at one point during
She
the
acts Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's ignorant, that's what you're saying.
pretty much.
Very hurtful.
Well, anyway.
How do the rules work?
So the rules are simple. I'll begin reading a tweet. As soon as you feel that you know who wrote it, you ring in by saying your name.
Not mine.
Then you've got
Don't say
3
my name,
seconds
say your name.
to say either Snooki, Sly, or Madonna.
Why are you talking like that?
It's my game show host voice.
You're scaring me a little.
Sorry. Ring and you get it right, you get yourself 5 points. Ring and you get it wrong,
How do
you
you
lose
ring?
3. You say your own name.
Oh.
Don't bang the table. Just say your name.
Yeah, just say your name. And then at the end of 8 tweets, whoever's in the lead is going to walk away with this sweet Andy J.
$20.
That's right.
What are you going to do with that?
You don't
That's
have
right.
to claim it, do you?
No.
Because that's only 16 and a half.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's under $5.99. All right. Are you prepared to play Who Tweeted?
Stop talking like that.
I can't help it.
Tweet number 1.
Tweet number 1. A word of advice. Trust no bitch.
Stop. Or Dom. The Madonna.
That is correct.
Wow, out of the chute.
I am out of here.
You are up 5-zip. You
I'm
get one
intuitive.
right, you get 5 points. You get one wrong, it's -3. There's a penalty for getting the wrong answer.
That's right.
Just letting you know. You're up 5-0.
5-0.
5-zippo.
Tweet number 2. Laughing at all the haters out there who spend their energy trying to limit
Kevin.
and
Snooki.
I'm sorry, no.
-3, Kevin. You lose 3 if you guess wrong. If you guess right, you plus 3.
Oh,
if
sorry,
you just
no.
keep your mouth shut or you don't know what you're talking about, you don't do anything.
That's
But
right.
It's better than losing 3.
That would have been Madonna. Madonna. Tweet number 3. Who is the newest, maybe toughest female on the planet?
Kevin Sly.
That is correct.
Oh,
I
back in
knew,
the
you know why
plus.
you knew it? Because he wasn't up yet. It's got to be him.
Doesn't always work that way.
Well, it does in my book.
All right, so you're ahead 5-2.
Tweet number 4.
I'm going to do this game on my podcast.
Laying down in bed and my phone just slipped out of my hands and hit me in the face. I have
Dom. Snooki.
That is correct.
Jesus. He's 2 for 2.
It had to be Snooki. It's obvious, even to the most casual of observers.
Well, now we've gotten them all, so who knows what the next one is.
He's 2 for 2, this guy.
Let me just inch this over here.
Tweet,
Oh, cocky. I like it.
tweet number 5. Can't wait to run today. It's my
Dom.
therapy.
Sly.
Ooh, the perfect game is over.
Son of a bitch!
It's all right. You're still up 7-2.
I don't care. I hate to be a loser.
It's all right. It's all right. It's not about getting them all right. It's about having the most
Stop
points at
talking
the end.
like that.
That couldn't have
No, this is a normal voice now.
Okay.
This is
That
normal.
couldn't have been Snooki. He ain't running.
I'm afraid it is.
Wow.
What?
Both would have got that one wrong. Okay.
Tweet number 6.
7-2. Good luck to you, buddy.
If you don't have anything nice to say, you're going to get a spanking.
Kevin Snooki.
Oh,
Dom Madonna.
sorry, no. That is correct, but unfortunately he already rang and he got it wrong, so he loses points.
Oh, I
You do
wasn't
not
paying
gain any.
attention.
You're still up 7 negative.
Now, now he's in the negatives. You got an 8-point lead. You're looking great. You're looking real solid here. Tweet number 7. Need to go work out and digest all this input later.
Dom. Madonna. Yes, it was.
Sorry.
She said that to me.
That may be true.
Maybe somebody else said
Could have been
it.
That
Sly.
may be
He works
true.
out a lot.
That was Sly. Oh, it's a lot closer now, Kev. You're just one correct answer away.
Now, let's see if I can tie this shit up. You son of a bitch.
Let's see if you can.
All right.
You want a piece of this?
I'm going to try to take a piece. Here we
Tweet number 8. I have this awful obsession with zombies. All I know is I'm going to kick ass when shit goes down.
go. Kevin Snooki.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie.
In your face, fucko. You know
Sorry
what
I
I'm
ever
saying?
came here today.
We are tied at 4 points apiece.
I was in the middle of a lesbian video and I don't know what's going to happen.
The 9th and tie-breaking, game-deciding tweet.
Breathe.
Breathe. Today I made like a banana and split.
F. Après-vous.
Today I made like a banana and split.
Pass.
You can't say pass. You said pass was his answer.
No one's,
-3.
no one's rang in yet, but I'm going to give you both 5 seconds or I'm declaring a tie.
I'm going to make like a banana and split.
Today I made like a banana and
You're doing
split.
that voice again.
I do.
Who the fuck would, of the 3 of them, would tweet that?
5,
I know who did it, but I'm not going to.
4,
I'm
It's
gonna
your
take a
show.
chance.
I'm taking a dive for you.
2.
But no one's going to win.
You got change it for 20?
No, I'm taking this now. That's how this game's ending. Neither of you
We've never ended in a tie.
You two bunch of pussies don't want to ring in.
Bring it in. We ended a tie. We agree to disagree.
Who was it?
That was Madonna. All right, here you go.
No.
That's how you play.
Sam Levine defaces government property. We've got a new record. Our first tie and our first crime. 201 shows. Remember, Sammy, If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Note to self, get some tape.
I gotta go. I'm having lunch with Donald Sterling today.
Oh, zing, zow.
Me, Donald Sterling, and Kramer.
Yeah.
Was it Kramer, wasn't it?
You're wearing a Laugh Factory t-shirt even though it refers to Las Vegas. Your own podcast is called?
Dom Irrera Live from the Laugh Factory.
And they can get that on the iTunes and everywhere else?
Yeah, I have the guys from Impractical Jokers on, I believe, this week. You ever see that show, Impractical Jokers?
It's a very funny show.
It's on True TV. You got to see it, Kev. You love it.
What is the show?
It's just 4 guys who grew up together, and they do like hidden camera stuff. But
Oh, okay.
a lot of it's against themselves.
Oh, great.
They put, it's not making fun of people as much as
Going after each other?
I mean, like crazy stuff. Like they would go to a buffet and start taking food off people's plates and eating it, and see how many things they can get, how many pencils they can put in somebody's pocket.
But in a funny way.
Yeah, really funny. not in the way that I'm explaining, the unfunny way. $9.99, you get all those flowers?
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Maybe this would. maybe we could join forces.
That's a little. That's a little more than $9.99.
This is exactly $10.
Yeah.
That's $9.98.
It's actually nothing. You need the other half for it to be anything.
Go ahead, get out of here.
This is less than a penny. Let's go back into the drawer for next week's competition. We've never had a tie before, and I'm honored. We have one very important piece of business before we allow you to go. I did not share this with you because I know of your improvisational skills.
That's my life.
Well, we tried to do a bit of that before
like
now.
second grade teacher here?
Yes. Bring out dead Mrs. Johnson.
Wheel her carcass out.
No, we're bringing back all the students that he
Exposed.
Yeah, to see which one.
Expose them to Elton John.
I'm sure Elton enjoyed it.
Elton John used to like to run across a room naked and get grapefruits thrown at his ass. That's what they said on a radio show one time. How do you ask somebody to do that? Would you be a deer? I'm going to be running across the room. Would you hit me in the ass with a grapefruit? Yeah, I'm not sure if it was oranges or grapefruits, but it doesn't really matter for the sake of the story.
I say they're easier to throw if they're oranges, but otherwise, no.
You're right.
I won't even ask where you got that story from because I don't care if it's apocryphal or real. It's just fantastic, and it's a visual we will all live with for some time.
Hey, Rocket Man, heads up. Heads up, Rocket Man. Wow!
Let's see if you're still standing after this.
Oh! To your Philadelphia freedom.
Ooh, the bitch is back.
You hit the bitch's back. I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Kevin.
We only ask one more thing from you before driving you home, literally. Because that used to be part of Paul Reiser's act, remember? Just one more thing, I'm going to drive you folks home.
It's a good riser.
It's not a bad
You should
riser.
do impressions.
I should think about it anyways. It's called the Larry King game, and there's no prizes.
You just get skinny and have a heart attack?
We just want you to act out that wonderful moment of Larry's show when he was on the CNN, where he would, before he'd go to the phones and talk to somebody, right, he would look into the camera sometimes. In this case, it'll be your camera. He would look into the camera and share something about himself that nobody fucking cared about. You know what I'm saying? Some King-ism. So the Larry King game, I want a bad Larry King impression. I don't want a good one, so the pressure's off. Give me a bad Larry King impression.
I don't even.
That's exactly right. I don't want to even.
Okay.
And then as Larry, share something about him into the camera, the folks at home, and then go to the phones. And when you go to the phones, if the name of the city is funny sounding, I'm going to like that. So give me a little Kingism before you go to the phones, and then go to the phones. Anything at all about Larry. You are Larry.
Oh my, this is Larry King. I have to, sometimes before I go to the bathroom, I pray that I won't die on the toilet seat. I wanted to share that with you. What am I, Elvis?
Go to the phones.
Go to the phone. You heard me. You know what I'm thinking. or go to the phone.
There's your Larry King game for show 201. Dom Irrera. Follow him on Twitter at Dom Irrera. Go to Dom Irrera Live from the Laugh Factory. That's a podcast. Download it, upload it. Thank you so much.
Thank
pal.
you. I loved it.
Honest and true. You know what? Sit there and comfortably while I wrap things up, and then we'll let you go.
All right, brother.
How about that? Oh, I want to thank our guests today, Mr. Dom Irrera. I want to thank you, Jamie and Sammy and Kenny, the 3 E's right here in the studio. And then Negnog, getting shit done out there in the outer studio.
He has so many nicknames.
He really does. Samantha Ward, for making us look a little less pasty, which was not easy today. No, Josh Negman, thank you out there. And Jason McIntyre.
He's on vacation.
Who's at the office.
He's experiencing technical difficulties today.
Right. Who did the fine research. Of course, David Mandel, the greatest intern in the history of show business, who's about to become...
De-virginized.
He's going to be exposed.
Who's about to become exposed to the brighter side.
Going to have a grapefruit hit him in the air.
Dom Irrera on the way home. No, join the ranks of the postgraduate work in show business. He's graduating from the USC soon, which we're all very excited about. And Daniel Overland doing our media May-Vin.
Or Danielle.
I said Daniel again. Yep. I'm just going to say Daniel from now on. Okay. Stop pretending that I know it's Danielle.
I'm sure she's fine.
And I'm going to have her legally change her name.
That's the way.
Because I'm a little annoyed that I'm the one who's wrong. Danielle. Really?
Andrea or Andrea?
You know what I'm
Same
saying?
shit.
Yeah. Johnny or Steve? Same thing. Thank you, Dom Irrera.
I need to get a plug-ola in.
Yeah, please.
If anybody watches Mad Men.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Mad Men, you watch it.
Yes, Mad Men, you watch it is a podcast I do with my buddy Lon Harris, and it's a Mad Men recap podcast. You can find it on iTunes. It's called Mad Men, you watch it.
Right. And
so if you're watching Mad Men this season, we go pretty in depth and do like a nice hour-long discussion.
You guys go up Monday, maybe Tuesday with a new episode.
Monday night, Tuesday. It's up by Tuesday morning.
Yeah, it's pretty damn
Following
terrific.
a new episode of Mad Men.
I'm glad you remembered. Mad Men, you watch it. Check out that podcast as well. And then Kenny, you've got your podcast too.
Yes.
That everyone should tune into called
Skank World?
No, it's a podcast called We're Bored When We Hoard. It's all about looking at all my old possessions.
We're bored and we hoard.
Yes, and we just talk about, remember this old...
All the shit in your house and garage.
Yeah, like old action.
Not a bit.
Is he mic'd?
Nope.
Oh. Not it.
It's a fun game I like to have with the audience.
I would listen to that.
Yeah, I too would listen to that show. Would you consider doing it, please, instead of just joking about it, you son of a bitch?
I think I should have my own podcast called One-Sided Phone Calls with My Parents.
Alrighty.
Where it's just my end of the audio of phone calls with my parents.
I would listen to that as well.
I think I'm onto something.
Yeah, I
Tell
do
your
too.
dad I said hi.
I certainly will.
Dom's love to Harris.
He just heard it.
Yeah,
By
I know.
the way,
He's probably
watching.
going to text right now.
You should make it an option on the podcast
Yeah.
to switch over and just listen to them.
No, you have to download the separate track. That's a premium fee.
Okay.
If you want the complete call.
Sam or I will be hosting next Sunday. Find out more by following each of us on Twitter as the progress report comes in. Me from New Orleans and him from somewhere secretive in the Los Angeles greater area. Until next time, and as always, get out of my face.